You guys have been pretty upfront about, I guess you could say, the lack of diversity. 5% of corporate staff, 2% at the executive level. As we said, no black people on the board of directors. How long ago did you identify that problem, and what do you do now to address it?
Well, it didn't really take the data to identify the problem. A little bit of look to your left and look to your right. But, you know, as a company, we have a very long track record of standing for racial equality and social justice. Back in the day when we did have factories here in the U.S., we desegregated our factories back in the early 1950s, 10 years before the Civil Rights Act. And as I've said, we have a long track record of working for social justice and equality. The Levi Strauss Foundation, just in the last 5 years, has contributed over $37 million just here in the U.S., and I would say largely here in the Bay Area, to organizations that fight for equality and social justice. And the vast majority of those organizations are led by Black and brown leaders. So after the George Floyd killing and the string of racial issues externally on the outside world, you know, we posted a public letter decrying racism and basically saying we need to channel our emotion of the moment into action. And you know, it really forced us as a country, I think, to look in the mirror and say, you know, for all of the progress that many of us think have been made, the real sad reality is that there is systemic racism in this country. And it forced me as the CEO to take that same hard look in the mirror and a same hard look at the data of our company and face the same brutal truth that what the data says here in the US, where we've got racial diversity numbers, we have a very diverse company-wide here in the US, but it is driven largely by our retail organization and distribution organization. If we bore down and look at the corporate headquarters, as you said, the diversity picture is a problem. I mean, I'll just say it straight up. We have an issue here and we need to address it. And so that's what led us to publish our diversity data publicly. It's on levistrauss.com. You know, the first step towards making progress is to admit that you have an issue and to admit that you've got an opportunity to work against. And starting to put into place an action plan to really drive a more diverse organization in our corporate headquarters. I guess the other operational thing I would say. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Chip, operationally within HR, what kind of adjustments need to be made to get half of your candidates be people of color? If the job's open and you're not at 50%, the job remains open and just until further notice?
Well, there's no question, Carl. We are able to prepare candidate slates that are 50% people of color. That's not an issue. We will be able to do that. And we've been doing it for the last couple of months. For us to make the change, this starts fundamentally deep inside. You have to believe that a diverse organization that reflects the consumers who we're serving, you have to believe that that diverse organization is going to outcompete a homogenous organization every day. And so this is a business imperative as much as it is us doing the right thing. I like to say, if we're not actively fighting racism and putting actions into place to do something about it, then we're complicit. And the best place for us to start is inside our own house. So that is first and foremost our focus. And there's no doubt in my mind, we will not have to compromise quality. We will not have to compromise to make the kind of progress that we need to make here. And I believe at the end of the day, we're going to be a much stronger company when we make that kind of progress.